Hi, and welcome back to another Walt Disney Wednesday. Today I am scrapbooking a BB8 meet and greet photo from Hollywood Studios, and I have an idea in mind. I'm going to use this instead of solid white cardstock. I'm going to use a black and white pattern paper for my background, so I think it will still feel pretty light. That's Amy Tangerine Hustle and Heart there in the background. And then I have gone through and picked up a heap of pattern paper. A lot of it's from scraps, but some of it is full sheets too. And here is my plan. I've pulled out a whole bunch of things with orange, because let's start with colors from BB8. So I've got lots of orange there, some old, some new. So that's a box of crayons. That's Amy's, how far back is that? Yes, Please. Oh, Happy Life, Ready, Set, Go. Lots of different oranges there. And then I have grays and blacks. That's an Amy polka dot from Better Together. These are all really old KI memories, but I really love their old gray patterns. So I have that in there, but if I just have orange, black, and gray, that looks very Halloween to me, and it's not a Halloween page. Don't want that. So I'm going to add in one other color, and Wonder Boy's favorite color combination is blue and orange, and there's a little bit of blue because he's wearing a blue lanyard, so that is enough for me to make it make sense that blue should be my additional color. So I pulled out a whole bunch of different shades of blue scraps as well, and I'm going to layer a ridiculous amount of paper on this page, and the photo is going to end up here with all these layers. My basic plan here is that I want to do 2 stacks of paper, a big stack of paper and a small stack of paper, so that I'm going to end up filling this space here and then another stack on top of it up here. I've made my first stack of paper. I've just cut all these pieces so that they're not exactly the same. They're kind of graduated with a few pieces that are a different width to give me some variety. And I'm going to turn that stack over and start sticking it to the background. And when I do big stacks of paper, or small stacks of paper, but stacks of paper, the look I try to go for is one of what would happen if you gathered up all the papers on a messy desk and you got them all almost there, but you didn't do that final tap that makes them into a nice neat pile. Yeah? So it's close but not quite finished. That's the look that I try to go for. And this one, I think I wanted to have one piece have a nice edge at the top, just something different. So I'm going to do a notebook paper edge with this punch. This is an American Crafts Knockouts punch where you have the little cartridges, but there are plenty of different punch brands that have the notebook paper edge, so you can use anything you have to hand or that you might be able to borrow from a friend or anything like that. But I do like it as quite a non-specific texture, just gives a nice edge. I'm not doing the most amazing even punching here, but that's going to be okay. Notebook paper is pretty forgiving because the whole idea is that it looks like it's been torn out of the spiral, so it's alright. And then to give it a bit more texture, ruffle it up like it has been torn out. And I am inking all my layers of paper today with gray ink just to emphasize the layers. I do ink a lot of my pages, but these days not every single one. But I do find that if I'm layering lots and lots of paper, it does give me a look that just feels like the layers are a little more obvious by giving you a little bit of a shadow or a defining edge. And the trick to having a somewhat haphazard collection of papers here well, there's a few tricks. One, don't be afraid that you're covering up a lot of stuff. My philosophy with big layers like this is that I have no shortage of paper. Seriously, you would come here and be like, why do you have so much paper? So I might as well use it, even if it means using lots. So it's okay to me that just a little bit shows. And the reason for that is that if I don't have just a little bit showing, I don't get this look. Yeah, it's fine to do it with more showing and not cover up so much of the pattern, but it's a different look. That's all it is. It's a different look. And if one of these was my favorite paper and I knew I wanted to use it again and I couldn't get any more or I didn't have any more or anything like that, I could always do what we call gutting, which is to cut out this part. But if I have plenty, I would only make my scrap basket explode more. So sometimes I find this a great way to use lots of my stash. The other thing to keep in mind is to go very small on the angles. So these are not all perfectly straight, and you'll see that black one starts above the blue and above the orange and ends down here. But the angles are so small, and if you make them big, it all goes a little wrong. So keep them as small as possible. And then this paper, this is just the orange strip from the box of crayons. The pattern paper that looks like this, which has scissors on the back. And I've just cut the orange strip out. And I really, really wanted to use this with BB8 because then I've got this shape as well. And I'm actually thinking that if I'm going to put the photo on this side, maybe I should bring this over a little bit. Maybe it should be more like where it's going to end. Okay, so let's try somewhere like that. Okay, and then I'm going to make another stack of paper. So I've got a background stack, and now I'm going to have a stack that just mats the photo. I still have lots of paper here that I haven't touched yet. And so I'm going to do the same exact thing and start cutting pieces to layer behind the photo. Same thing, I've cut all these pieces now, and I've done border at the top of a few, and I've inked them all, so now I am going to just stick them all down in another little stack of papers. Some orange, some gray. I'm wondering, that orange is actually quite a bit smaller than the gray, so let's try the gray at the back. I don't want to lose this effect over here at the side with the fade of the orange. And then a few shades of blue. And the softer blues near the photo, that one that's quite bright, tucked away so that it's a little more subtle. And then the photo finally, right on the top. Okay, all those layers for that one picture. Yep. Now what I want to do to this is then get some little pieces tucked away. So I have some things here. Got some orange boxes with cameras. I've got this cut apart from Hustle and Heart, which has this big orange Love You to Pieces box. So I think that's going to get tucked on that side, and let's have a couple cameras. Just looking, here's an orange and blue one, so that's perfect. And this one has some orange and blue as well. And then there's a navy blue here with gray. Might work. The blue might be too dark next to the black and white in the background, so I've got plenty of options. Yeah, I think lighter blue here. Let's try that. Yeah, I think something like that's going to work. I'm not quite sure where everything is going to go yet, so I'm going to pick out a few more embellishments so that I have everything ready to stick, and then see where it's all going to go. I have pulled out lots of orange embellishments and a little bit of gray and blue as well, and some stuff for journaling on and all the things. So I'm just going to continue with more and more layers. I wanted to see, does this fit in here? I don't think it does. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to use this just as a layer then, and tuck it behind everything. So this is a little pocket, a little envelope. Older Webster's Studio product. Webster's Pages, sorry, not Studio. And I'm going to place it pretty far out because then I want to be able to to add lots more layers in there, like this. Where am I going to put the journaling card? Because I don't want to lose that title. Let's see what happens if I move it even further. I can work backward by layering those two and then tucking that behind. Almost there. I want to be able to see that that's blue and orange. There we go. With this, I just want this little bit here. And I do have a few other pictures. So photos enclosed, I could put the other photos in this little pocket, but mostly you're not going to see the lettering. It's just going to be a little gray popping out of the pocket there, and I'm going to put one of these little cameras popping out of the pocket as well. Might bring it right the way over and just have that little bit of gray there because I want it to still be obvious that it's a pocket, and I think if I cover the back entirely, that'll be harder to tell. Okay. Got lots of little pieces. I pulled out a whole bunch of stickers from the Vicky Boughton sticker book, and also a couple orange pieces in the Maggie Holmes. There's not a lot of orange, but there's just a couple pieces. But there's a lot in the Vicky book. Whoops, this little banner tucked in there. And I want this one to go on this side. So what can go with that? Wow. I can tuck this one. I just want that little bit of text to show. So that could go further down here. And that one there. Might need to cut a little bit off that edge. What else? We got lots of little labels and things. So one of these lighter ones. And a little blue circle. I like having the noted above the journaling here because then it feels like that is related. The awesome needs to point in the right direction, so that's going to need to come over here. I think if I come all the way across, that's going to be a good idea there. So let's see. This little frame. Go right over that. And that kind of makes this square balance here with a square, ish. Another arrow. That one could go this way though. Just finding little places to tuck things into all these layers. I love all these shades of orange together. Shades of color. I always find this is one of those things that falls under more is more for me. So if I have one blue and I add just one other blue, so I only have 2 shades of blue, then my eye goes straight to how those 2 shades of blue are not an exact match. If I put more shades of blue, then they feel happier together, that they're not all exactly the same, and it's kind of an I meant to do that type move. And so I've got shades of blue, I've got shades of orange, I've got white and cream shades here, cream in that one, cream with white in that one, kind of a grayish cream here, white there, yeah. So it's a more is more kind of thing. No, I don't like the heart on top of the circle. I'm going to put the heart over there. One more big label pulled out. I've done quite a few layers there, but I can tuck one under here. So this works well. If you want to do lots of layers, then find one spot and kind of go maybe up the hill and down the hill, or up, down, up, down, up, down, so that you've got a sticker under each or most layers of paper. That kind of gives them all a place instead of feeling that everything is all around the photo kind of everywhere. It is chaos, but it's limited chaos. Okay, I need something else up here with this because I've just got the one piece and it looks a little lonely. So I've got a bit of a little gold pennant there. Right now. That right now is from Box of Crayons. I wanted to bring in a little bit of the blue, and I've actually pulled out this much older American Crafts sticker book to have a little bit of blue. I don't want to lose the text there. So. Maybe this needs to go up there to the top with these, actually. Yeah. This is going to need more with that. And I think this grouping over here is going to need some more. Don't worry, I have lots more pulled out. A little bit of this blue. This with the stars and the gray. This is Ormolu, again quite an old product, well 2013. Because I count like, that's sort of old, sort of not, 2013, 5 years old, but you know, if you love it, you hang on to it, and you find the place where it finally belongs. And that's what's happening here today. Yeah. So box and box, box and box. Box and socks, box and box. Yes. Might as well use that one as well. The more I put on the page, the less I have to put away at the end. That's as good a reason as any for me. By the way, there are a couple pieces here that I haven't inked. It's not the end of the world. I do ink most of them, but if I forget and I don't really notice, then I just leave it. Just want that bottom edge to not have such an awkward corner. There we go. Camera. 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 I think it's okay if it's only part of the camera. So I'm going to try over here. I wonder if I have it in 6x6 because then it would be smaller. It would appear I have already used it in 6x6, so that is a nice idea, but no help to us today. Okay. Just make sure I don't have one that's sitting here with lots of cut up pieces that it might be hiding in. Oh, there is a cut up one. Let's see. It's a possibility. The suspense. Ah ha ha ha! Got it. Okay, so which one was that? To add a little bit more definition to the photos, so it doesn't get lost in all of this, I'm going to put some photo corners. These are from Box of Crayons, and they just peel and stick. So I've already adhered the photo, but I didn't put adhesive on the edges. Put it in the middle so that I can go back and add little things like this. I feel this giant blue border could be broken up just a little by something. So, what have we got here? Oh, I could just use, whoops, I could use just the edge of this. Like that. Okay, and now I'm going to stop with paper and sticker type embellishments and go to things that are a little more dimensional to fill in those gaps. I want to get the journaling on and the title on there too, so I don't lose that. So my journaling is going to go in that box, nice and simple, and my title is going to go down here. with a couple different things. I've got some blue. I've also got things that I just threw on the floor. Some blue letter stickers, some white thickers for the BB, and an orange 8. Journaling and title in place, and now for finishing touches that are hopefully going to be fun. Now, what I think has to happen is this. 2 orange buttons that were in my stash to make the button BB8. Yep. It's not often that I do cutesy stuff like this, but I think in this case it's got to happen. Now what I will do is stitch these later, because I do like my buttons to have stitches. I think I'm going to separate it because I don't want it to fight with the photo there. So I'm going to bring it down here. And just have it as this little... Do I want it down there? Oh goodness. What if he went up here? Maybe he is cuter kept up in the embellishment. Okay, so I will stitch these after I've done the layout, and I want to balance it with some wood buttons on this side. Then, because I've got the box over there, give him, yeah, why not? And I've pulled out all sorts of little enamel dots and things. I really like tucking enamel dots under because you get a little bit of dimension from it. And I thought I would take 3 of these stars. I might actually make it that middle one there if it's a good fit. Yep. And bounce these across the middle here. One up there. And one all the way over to here somewhere. Bring it back down. Again, tuck it underneath. I've got blue one with orange in this set as well, so I might as well mix those together. Have a little triangle there. I've got these to scatter across as well, so I think I'll put one up there, and then sticking to finish blue hearts and some quite neon sparkly enamel dots. But let me go ahead and put these on next because they are big, and also because since they are brads, once they are on the paper, they are going to stay there. Where the enamel dots, I can move them around if I need to balance something. So where is my punching mat? There it is. So I'm going to punch through all these layers and put one right up there. And one here. And one over to here. Oh, I could put it up there at the tag. Yeah. Oh, then I'd lose the orange there, so actually... Where have I got it? 1, 2, I think I'll bring it in here. Yeah. Okay, now to work those brads through all those layers. Right, so I'm going to take my blue hearts. These are some little Studio Calico heart stickers. I'm just trying to decide which shade of blue. I think this lighter one. And I'm going to bring these either side of the brads. Just nearby somewhere. And I think here, because I've got that longer space, I'll put a few more. I think this is a good spot for a little chain of hearts because his little face at how excited he was to give BB8 a big hug. That looks about right to me. Some orange. Let's have little bounce of this orange across the page. Oops, where'd you go? I'm just zigzagging, really, through the layers. Oh, it just wants to escape. There we go. I need some of it down here. Just kind of going up. That's okay. I'm going to leave that just going up. And finishing touch, I'm going to add a little bit of gray mist. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay, so mist that hit the photo will come right off. And these buttons as well. And that is it. That's where I'm going to leave it finished. All the orange, a little bit of blue, a little bit of gray, a little bit of black and white, but basically all the layers. And this sort of page really, really makes me happy. So I'm going to go stitch those buttons and put it in my album. Thanks so much for watching. I have it. I've heard that Glitter Girl will be back here on YouTube on Monday. So if you need a video between now and then, I do a live scrapping session every Friday on Facebook, facebook.com/Shimelle, Friday Live. You can find that there. And then back to YouTube with my sparkly friend Glitter Girl next Monday. See you then.